Well, the Britney Spears conservatorship case has headed back to court after a new documentary about Spears by the New York Times came out on Hulu. Calls to hashtag Free Britney were joined by a new message. We're sorry, Britney. An old clip of Craig Ferguson explaining why he won't tell jokes about the pop star has resurfaced online. Ferguson then announced that he wouldn't be telling any jokes about Spears and suggested other members of the media handle the pop star in a more delicate manner. People are falling apart. People are dying. That Anna Nicole Smith woman, she died. It's not a joke. It stops being funny then, he said. From the Hollywood Reporter, seemingly referring to the that was from the Hollywood Reporter. Seemingly referring to the documentary, Spears wrote, each person has their story and their take on other people's stories. We all have so many different, bright, beautiful lives. Remember, no matter what we think we know about a person's life, it is nothing compared to the actual person living behind the lens.
Exactly. I caught it. Yeah, I caught it. Me and Joy, we watched it. I didn't know.
I mean, because I grew up in that age. Like, yeah. I had a Britney poster. Like, Oops, I Did It Again, I think was the first album I bought. Like, this was the era I came of age, and it was jaw-dropping to be reminded of how bad it was.
Yeah, and even during that time, because I mean, I know me and Britney are in the same age group, and I remember when she was on her rise, when the boy bands were coming up, and they were like, a solo female artist isn't going to be able to compete with these guys, and she did. She was there. It was Britney, Spice Girls, NSYNC, and the Backstreet Boys. They were all dominating the charts at the same time. And Diddy was like, what the hell? But I remember how there was reports of like young girls going to these concerts. Oh my God, I love Britney so much. And their dads would stick around and have an extra ticket too and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to stick around for the show too. It was a lot of creepy guys and stuff coming at her.
Every time I remember how young she was when that schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah.
So
at 16 or 15,
so sexualized,
and everybody was wondering, when is she a virgin? When is she about to turn 18? Oh my God, she's almost legal. Like, dude, you got like today. If that stuff was happening today, oh man, a lot of that would have been shut down so fast. Yeah. But in the early 2000s in 1999. It was just like, why are you acting like such a bee about it? I'm just asking about your breasts. I mean, what's going on? Like, that was
insane.
It was
crazy.
Have
to talk about your breasts. The interviewer literally was like, like that was the elephant in the room.
They're telling me in my ear that I gotta ask about about the twins. I'm like, what? I was like, I wish I could have like quantum leap right there and just make her say like, okay, so are you married? I would have put him on the spot. I would have turned it back around to him. Yeah. Be like, I'm underage, right? How are you married?
And women are have more agency to do that now. But you see in that documentary, like she handles everything so graciously.
Yeah.
And with so much kindness and with so much grace. And, we're talking about essentially a child. I think we referenced that the Diane Sawyer interview where it's like, oh, this senator's wife said she would kill you if she had the chance. Yeah. And she's just sitting there like, well, that's so mean.
Yeah. Every answer she gave was perfect.
She handled it brilliantly, just going, well, it's not my job to babysit her kid, but still the grace and now you'd be like, all right, square up, bitch.
Catch me outside. Yeah, the catch me outside girl today gets millions of dollars and gets to do whatever the hell she wants. But oh wow, I wish she didn't do that. She gets to have her dad like say, you're not mentally competent.
And it's insane because she was everything you were supposed to be. She was gorgeous, thin, white, blonde, sexy, virginal. Like she literally could not have fit more the perfect mold of like, this is what we want a woman to be in America. It still wasn't enough.
It was, I'm not even gonna lie. I remember back then because I was probably a bit when Justin Timberlake went solo and that album came out and the whole spin about I thought, because we were led to believe that the whole thing was true. The whole thing about her cheating on him with the choreographer, whatever you said, and then he made the Cry Me a River song or video, but out of being hurt, and now the whole thing is like maybe that stuff wasn't true. I was like, I remember back then we all bought into it. It boosted his career, And then I
Yeah.
thought about how this wasn't the first time that happened. I'm like, I'm a huge Justin Timberlake music fan. But then but I'm looking back at, if this would have happened today, it would have all played out differently.
Well,
And
everyone would
then
be on, and I think the documentary addresses a bit. Everyone would have been on social media telling their side of
they're
the
telling the
story.
side of the story. And like then what happened with Justin Timberlake and then Janet Jackson.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
remember how he
I
quickly,
feel like they planned on dropping this Super Bowl weekend. Like,
it was exactly, it just reminded you a whole bunch of things that was like, I remember thinking way back then, like, wait a sec. I mean, I understand that Justin Timberlake is the hotter, more popular pop star at the time, at the early 2000s in the moment. But we're talking about Janet Jackson. She comes from a legacy. And what? Why y'all are throwing her under the bus? Janet Jackson, you know how powerful her family is, and it worked. I was like, wow, really? I like y'all. And I remember when that situation happened. No kids were really watching the Super Bowl at the time. It was a bunch of adults that thought it was all a part of the show. And then I'm looking, because today I'm looking back and I'm seeing Justin Timberlake should apologize. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Then when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. So Justin, that whole story might not have been true. So you used it to boost your career. And you probably, I mean, she probably had, it was chipping away at her sanity once. That's how the documentary played out. All these things were just chipping away at her little by little by little by little. And I understood a little bit more now. And I was like, damn, I bought into it.
honestly, the shaved head thing, how much we all laughed at her, and it's like, I get it.
She thought that would make
Like,
the
don't look at me.
paparazzi
I
stop.
don't want you to talk about my hair. This isn't about me. Don't touch me. Stay away from me. Like, it almost feels like things like assault victims will do to kind of build that wall around them.
Right.
But
it usually it usually backfires, because then it's like, oh, now we're watching her decline. We're watching the mental break, and that's even more money for them to get pictures of. What I heard that a celebrity.
All I'm saying is someone who's done some real panicked quarantine haircuts. I get it, girl. I get it.
Yeah, I'm there too. But I heard from I don't know if this actually works, but I heard that some celebrities, whenever when they don't want to be bothered too much by the paparazzi, the trick is wear the same outfit, like a sweatshirt.
I've heard that.
Wear it every day.
Like it's all from the same,
it looks like it's from the same day. It devalues the picture. It's like, how do I know that this is the same? This is a new picture from today, or what you took last week? Right. It's like, it's not my fault. She keeps wearing the same clothes. Well,
messed up.
It works. I think little things like that. But they were pushing her so much to, be nice, get out there, get out. Because I remember on the beginning of the documentary, it said it was like the paparazzi and her were in this symbiotic relationship. Then as she grew up and just didn't want it, she wanted more privacy. It was like, it was too late. You fed the beast. Oh my God,
don't get me started though on the paparazzi and that thing. Like, well, she said leave me alone, but she meant like that day. Yeah. Like, she did not want you there. Oh my God, they were despicable.
I was like, oh my God, this dude, imagine this dude saying this on the stand. Yeah, she said no, but she didn't say it like that. Come on, Your Honor, you'd have to have been there.
Own it. You know what? Just own, like, I was making crazy money.
Yeah.
The culture at the time, it was wrong, and in hindsight, I made a mistake.
Well, he admitted that much of it. It's like, when
but then he like swiveled back around and was like, but she kind of loved it.
But yeah, exactly. She once again made it her fault. It was I mean, hey, there's been people who have gotten paparazzi who've gotten totally beaten down for stepping over the line, for zooming in and taking pictures in a open blind and all that stuff, taking pictures of the children, things like that. I mean, just things go too far. Like Craig Ferguson said, like Princess Diana, she died. They had to make a law based on what happened to Princess Diana. So things could spiral out of control real quick.